The chilling rise of Boko Haram. Why they target women and children. They kidnap children and turn them into killers. They force mothers to watch their daughters become slaves. They claim to be warriors of faith, but their actions are a dark, unrelenting stain on humanity. This is Boko Haram, the terror group the world seems powerless to defeat. What makes them so untouchable? Why has their reign of terror lasted so long? Let's uncover the truth. In an era dominated by high-tech intelligence, drone warfare, and international coalitions, how does a group like Boko Haram continue to exist, let alone thrive? While their name may not headline global news every day, their actions have left scars across Nigeria and its neighboring regions, scars that refuse to heal. Boko Haram's rise and persistence are not just about violence. They are about a deeply rooted system of fear, manipulation, and exploitation. But who are they really? Why do they target women and children with such calculated brutality? And how do they manage to stay steps ahead of some of the world's most powerful nations? Today, we peel back the layers of this chilling organization, exposing its methods, its mindset, and the system that enables it. This isn't just a story of terrorism, it's a story of systemic failure, human resilience, and the cost of neglecting those at the margins of society. To understand Boko Haram's horrifying tactics, you need to understand their victims. Women and children are not merely collateral damage in their war. They are the war. They are pawns in a game of psychological warfare, tools to send a chilling message to the world. The 2014 abduction of 276 schoolgirls in Chibok shocked the world.
Zan sayar a kasuwa, wallahi na kai kasuwa na sayar da mutum. Allah ne ya ce sayar ne, shi ne ya umarci ne sayar. Zan sayar da mata, ina sayar da mata.
But here's the unsettling truth. That was only one chapter in a much larger, darker story. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, of similar kidnappings have gone unnoticed, unreported, or ignored. For every Chibok, there are countless other villages where girls vanish, their futures stolen in the dead of night. These girls are forced into so-called marriages with fighters, subjected to unspeakable abuse. Some are trained to become weapons themselves, strapped with explosives and sent into crowded markets, schools, and places of worship. Imagine the terror. A child, unaware or unwilling, walking toward her own death, taking innocent lives with her. To Boko Haram, these children are expendable, but to their families, they are irreplaceable. And the mothers? They are forced to watch, powerless, as their daughters are taken, their sons turned into soldiers of terror. Can you imagine the agony of a parent in such a moment?
Year-old daughter.
I prefer, if they will ask my suggestion, they should go into my house, burn my house, break everything inside my house. If they give me my daughter, that will be better for me.
A child's scream, a mother's tears. These are not just stories, these are realities. So, the question remains, why hasn't Boko Haram been defeated? With billions of dollars spent on counterterrorism and armies equipped with the latest technology.
We have new equipment. Between February to date, we've taken delivery of so many equipment that are now helping us to change the tide of the battle.
Why does this group continue to operate with such impunity? The first answer lies in their geography. Boko Haram thrives in the vast, unforgiving terrains of northeastern Nigeria and neighboring regions, areas that are difficult to police and even harder to navigate. These dense forests and arid lands act as natural fortresses, hiding them from aerial surveillance and ground forces. But terrain alone cannot explain their resilience. The second factor is corruption. Billions of dollars intended to combat terrorism often disappear into the pockets of corrupt officials. Arms meant for soldiers are sold off. Intelligence is leaked. This corruption feeds the chaos, creating an environment where groups like Boko Haram flourish. And then there's poverty, an invisible ally to terror. In regions where opportunities are scarce, desperation becomes a currency. Boko Haram exploits this, offering young men a purpose, no matter how twisted. For many, joining the group is not a choice, it's survival. But perhaps the most unsettling weapon in Boko Haram's arsenal is their ideology, a distorted interpretation of religion that glorifies violence and martyrdom. To them, fear is power. Fearlessness, even in the face of death, is their ultimate weapon. It's not just about territory or resources, it's about breaking spirits, crushing hope. This ideology is infectious, spreading like a virus in communities already fractured by poverty and neglect. They indoctrinate children, turning victims into perpetrators. The cycle continues, feeding their ranks while devastating the moral fabric of entire generations. Boko Haram's story is not just a Nigerian problem, it's a global lesson, a stark reminder of what happens when corruption, poverty, and extremism intersect. They've exploited every crack in society to build an empire of fear. And while governments fight them with guns and drones, the real battle, the battle for education, opportunity, and justice, remains largely neglected. Until those cracks are sealed, the cycle of terror will continue. We cannot expect lasting peace if the roots of conflict remain untouched. The world must ask itself, how many more daughters must disappear? How many more mothers must bury their children?
We pray for peace and to be able to return to our home. Life here at the camp cannot be compared to our lives back home.
How many lives must be lost before we recognize that this fight isn't just military, it's humanitarian? Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Share this video, spark a conversation, and help bring these untold stories into the light. Subscribe for more deep dives into the shadows of our world. Together, we can shine a light on the darkest corners and fight for a better tomorrow.